Hey folks, welcome to the channel, especially if you're a Celtic fan, as in today's video, this is my latest stadium mock of Celtic Park, sometimes called Parkhead or Paradise as you might know, and it's one of the most iconic stadiums in the UK and the largest football stadium in Scotland. We are Celtic fans, and Celtic Park is one of the very first micro stadiums we ever built, because this is actually a rebuild of my original mock. Well, not mine, but my son's original, as he built the first version a few years ago, and we thought, it was about time for an update and to make it more accurate and bigger compared to the other stadiums we've built. I've rebuilt it onto plates with bricks on top and then another layer of plates. As you can see, the original had an elongated base at the front which kept breaking. And for the rooftop, he used grey tiles and he used those antenna pieces for the superstructure, and they were just too short, and really the top is more white than grey. But the main problem with this version though is its size, as it's slightly out of scale compared to the other stadiums we've since built. And when we take it to LEGO shows, you can see the difference, and it's totally wrong because Celtic Park is actually really quite large. So for this version, I ordered a bunch of those grey poles and a load of droid arms, and they connect with bars built into the rooftop. And we've spaced them out a bit and not overloaded the rooftop with too many, and I think it looks really good. In real life it looks like this, so you can see the grey steelwork on top, and the rooftop itself is noticeably more white in appearance, so that's why I did a colour change. The front entrance has this brick built structure with statues, and to me it was important to redo this section and make it a bit more accurate, as it's also a very angular design, which we didn't quite get right in the last version. So all the rooftop tiles were changed over to using 6-stud white long tiles, and I enlarged the stadium quite a bit. It's much larger than it was before, although the pitch in the middle is still exactly the same size. Around the sides I have rather badly glued Celtic logos and some banners with Kyogo on one side, and on the other side is the Lisbon Lions, the team that won the European Cup in 1967. And then there's an Adidas logo as well, who are the kit maker at the moment for Celtic. The reason for this is I added the banners that I wanted to, as they change all the time in real life, and they usually have huge photos of iconic players and some current players, so I thought I'll put Kyogo as he's our favourite player at the moment. Inside there's layers of green seating using green wedge plates, and there's also the Celtic FC logo and an Adidas logo. Again, it's just printed from photos online and glued on, and you can see how simple the construction is here. It's just layers of wedges built onto each other. It does take a bit of trial and error, but it's not complicated. Inside the stadium now, you can see the rooftops project outwards from the edges, and there's a glass structure on each side covering the end of the Jock Stein and Lisbon Lion stands, and there's also a series of very large lights built into the roof. For the main stand on Kerrydale Street, it has a sloped rooftop, and this is where the players' tunnel is, and it's built with an archway piece. Down at the front here, I used some green army men micro figures from a Toy Story set, and they represent statues, and behind that I have added a series of wedges to give it that angular look. The corner sections were tricky to get right, but the green wedge under the grey one is an effective way of getting that angular stadium section to look right. The base has layers of green and white bricks, and this is something I've began adding to all of my stadium mocks now, and I think it looks pretty cool, as it's another reference to the colours of the team. On this corner is the event space entrance that's built into the base of the stadium, and then there's a freestanding building which is the larger Celtic shop. In real life though, it's a lot further away, but I kind of wanted to include it. And these blocks which go around the edge as well, they're all entrance turnstiles. I really think LEGO are missing a huge market with football. They made the very large Man United, Barcelona and Real Madrid stadiums, but I don't think that they sold that well because they were just too large and expensive. Why on earth they've never gone down the micro scale route does surprise me, as they're doing it with Star Wars, and they'd be more affordable and relatively easy to build for people coming into the hobby. And there are enormous fan bases for football all over the world, so it's a global market. Although I am glad they haven't, because I've really enjoyed building my own ones and trying to get them accurate and all that, and if LEGO made sets, then I'm sure they'd be very popular and everyone would have them. So it would make mine totally redundant, and it shows they just wouldn't be a special thing or unique at all. I haven't made instructions for this, I wouldn't even know where to start, and it's a lot of trial and error when building it, so I get lost trying to make instructions and forget what goes where if I had to break it apart and build it again. I am going to be building Dundee United and Dundee FC next, and then Hearts, so all teams from Scotland, and I'll be showing them off at LEGO shows next year alongside my other micro stadiums, so keep an eye out for that. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!